Hi, welcome to Sunfire Designs. Today I'm going to be attempting to make a fairy flower for the, I don't even know what number try this is. I had been using a 2-to-1 resin with limited success if you've seen any of the pictures I've posted, but it just wasn't happening. I was just getting frustrated. So I caved and I bought the appropriate resin for this, which is Art Pro resin, and it is a 3-to-2. I will put a link in the description. So I went ahead and mixed that up. I mixed it in ounces. I did 3.6 ounces of A and 2.4 ounces of B. And then I have 3 different colors here. I'm using Liquitex Acrylic Ink. Using this one is green. It's phthalocyanine green. The blue is Prussian blue. And the pink is quinacridone magenta, and I probably butchered how to say that, but that's my best try. So I have those mixed up. I have an opaque white, which I already poured into my piping bag, and I have a slightly more transparent white, which is kind of hard to see on here. I am gonna try to order some darker sticks so that you guys can see them easier. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm gonna do, and I'm not sure, make sure I'm on camera here. I'm gonna do it over this, okay? So I haven't got my bearings yet with my new setup I did. I put away my silicone mat and my heating mat. I think my heating mat was causing some unevenness. I'm gonna try to get the one that kind of goes over the top instead and see if that helps. But anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pour these into another cup, and I'm gonna make layers. So I'm gonna do each one twice. So hopefully my pink and green don't make mud. Although I've been doing okay, at least with the other tint. They weren't causing me a lot of issues. So I prefer to not have mud if possible. So I'm just gonna kind of do a little rings here. Half of it, the first row go, and then half of the rest of it the next time around. I'm exhausted, gotta tell you guys. I started back to work. I'm a teacher, and the students aren't there yet, but just getting stuff ready to go is just exhausting. Exhausting. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take and I'm gonna swirl this around in here. So, and just see, hopefully the colors don't turn into brown. I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but I'd kind of be upset because I really like these colors individually. And you can tell this is thicker, it's taking longer to close. My other one before would just kind of go zoop right in. So hopefully this will make its way in there. Hopefully this one works better. I was just getting very frustrated. The downside with this is that the tiny little bubbles just take a lot longer to come out. So even though I let it sit for a little bit, I got little baby bubbles coming up everywhere. All right. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut a hole in my piping bag, and I'm going to go after the bubbles. You guys know that's my thing. I usually end up with really clear pieces, but I think it's just because I'm kind of so on top of the bubbles that I don't let them exist in my world. Anyway, sorry this is crunchy. I put it in my piping bag. Okay, I'm gonna torch one more time. All right, I'm gonna cut the tip of it off. I'm gonna do it off camera so it doesn't fall into my resin. And I don't want it to be a super big opening, but I also don't want to be getting super tiny drops. Okay, this is gonna come out. It's actually a little bigger than I wanted to make it, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. Okay, so it's gonna drop out. Actually, it's not doing it as much now. When I first opened it, it was pouring out, but now this is perfect. So I'm just gonna go around, start at the outside, go towards the middle. I am not gonna put as many dots in the middle, and it may be different with this resin, but when I was using the 2-to-1, I was getting like big white circle in the middle. So I kind of want to try to avoid that if possible. So what I'm going to do is I am going to not go directly in the middle, because what happens, as you can see with the dots here, all resin moves towards the middle, right? So these dots are already moving towards the middle. And if all of them move to the middle, you end up with them all meeting in the middle, which I believe, you know, I don't know, but I believe that that's probably causing that big white circle in the middle when I, after it's cured and I unmold it. So you'll notice, I don't know if you saw my picture I posted earlier, I actually put a sticker on top of the white in the middle. That was Julie's idea. Thank you, Julie. She's at Pouring Your Heart Out. I'm sure most of you are familiar with her, but it was her idea to put a sticker over it to kind of hide the white blob, because it was bugging me. All right. Hopefully I've got my color saturations, I can speak. My color saturations done right, and everything, so this turns out pretty. I don't see any mud yet. I don't know why. For some reason, certain colors just have a tendency to go muddy for me. Pinks and purples. I don't know why. But it's frustrating when you want to make something, when you love pink and purple as your, you know, 2 of your favorite colors, and you want to make something with them. It's kind of hard when they make mud with everything else and with themselves. I've done things that have been pure purple and ended up with like orange in it. And I don't know why. There was nothing else I was mixing with except for the resin. Some of this stuff is mysterious to me. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I have a basic grasp of science. I teach science, but some of this science plus art stuff kind of evades me. I just do my best and figure it out. I think it'd be really cool to have like a channel where you would explain the science behind all this, but I'm afraid that it's not going to be me making that channel because I don't quite have a good grasp on it. Maybe one day. I think that'd be kind of cool. I'd watch it. All right, so sorry if I'm yammering on here. I'm just trying to put all these dots in here, and then also I don't want you to be super bored while you're watching me. I'm just going around now and putting more dots in just anywhere that looks like there's a space. I'm not being too precise about it or anything. All right, sorry we had an interruption here. Back, and as I was saying, I am just going around and making sure, whoops, that I have dots everywhere that I want to have them. And I was talking so much because I was just trying to not bore you. You're always welcome to fast forward when I'm doing this though. Sometimes it can get tedious, especially when you're doing a bunch of little dots. And you'll probably recognize this technique is the same technique that that I used for the firework flower, if you watch that video. Okay, I'm gonna do a little spritz there. Okay, now the last step, what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna pour this white in there. I'm not even gonna pour it, I'm gonna dump it. You know, obviously gently. I don't want to spray stuff everywhere, but I'm going to dump it in there. And if my calculations are correct, I should not overflow, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on that while I'm pouring in here, just to make sure. So, all right, here we go. Oh, that looks so cool. All right, I'm gonna put you on time lapse while it moves. I will probably add some glass in the middle, and I will see you when it's on molding time. Well, color me surprised. This was cured in 8 hours or less. I am amazed. I'm absolutely stunned. So here we go. Let's see. Is this resin everything everyone said it is? Did I put in too much pigment? Not enough white? What did I do that I need to fix? Because that's just kind of been my story of my life. All right, ready? I did it. I did it. I just need to get rid of that white in the middle. I did it. Oh my gosh. Yay. Okay, I came back. I just wanted to show you guys the difference between the 2-to-1 and the 3-to-1. I did put a sticker on the middle of this one because the white was driving me nuts and I kind of wanted to mute it, and I think that really helps. And it kind of just draws everything to the center. It looks cool. I had to do the same thing with this one. Now this one was the 2-to-1. This is the closest I ever came, and this was after, I don't even want to tell you how many attempts. So I was starting to get frustrated because I couldn't get the same results, you know, in a row. And I wanted to try to get it right. You know, this is the start of it. It's got these petals and stuff here, but it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do in the inside. And I think it's because on the 2-to-1, it had a long time for everything to move in. So things just kind of got lost and muted in here. So for the one I just did, this was the 3-to-2 resin, the Art Pro. And you can see it's got the little petals here. Yeah, they moved, but I still think they look cool. And then it's got the other petals here that actually look like petals. Yay! I'm so excited that I feel like maybe it's not exactly what everyone else's look like, but I am in love with this look. Anyway, thank you for joining me on this, and I appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.